Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Website on the side here is schifferbooks.com. Oh, if I can get it in frame. Feel free to freeze frame on that if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. Your Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website in the back of this one, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as an apple, use an umbrella. What's going on with the energy? We got a lot of upside down cards. Okay. Let's put on a couple more. Who was the one I just did? I think I just did Sag. Sag just went well. Is yours going to go well? Your card came up. Whatever's going on here, it hasn't been right for a while. So the subject we're dealing with, it just seems to never improve. This kind of reminds me of the Scorpio reading a little bit. It does remind me of the Scorpio reading a little bit. So I feel like whatever I've been doing, I've been trying to do the best I could, but I feel like I'm not interested in it anymore. You're trying to make a good decision. You're really you're trying to get into your energy, and you're trying to solidify or change the situation or adapt to it, or get it to adapt to this. You're trying to get something to change here so things work better. But I get at this point it's not working. You're putting in a lot of effort. The reason this isn't working has nothing to do with you in the sense of putting in the effort, because you're putting in the effort. You are definitely putting in the effort, but I get something is slipping out of your hands here. Alright, so the truth is I'm not a Sunshine Rainbows reader. Whatever's there, I read it as it is. I don't know. This one might be a rough one, just to be fair. I don't know. But we're going to see as we keep going forward, because at the end you have really good chances, but what it's going to take to get there, that's a whole nother story. Whatever the situation is, the connection is not working. You may be putting in that effort trying to make this better. Whatever you're working with, whether it be a person or a situation or a job or whatever, is not meeting you halfway, is not even trying to. And there could be a million reasons why. The short answer is it's not seeing things your way. Whatever you're working with is not seeing things your way and not willing to work with you on it. At least not the way that you want them to work with it. How's that? They're not meeting you halfway and trying to work it out on your terms, at least. They're not really willing to do that even. Aries has high standards. I don't think that's bad. But you have high standards. We're going to do this honestly and we're going to deal with it. We're not going to play stupid little games. We're not going to act like things are good when they're not. We're going to look at the truth of what's here, what's going on, and we're going to handle it and we're going to move on. And whatever the situation is, it's just the way you're handling it, they're like, no. Nope, no. I get a give up attitude around you, just to be fair. So whoever you're dealing with, they may have been over it for a while. So if you're dealing with a person, especially if you're dealing with a person that gave up a while ago, if you're dealing with a situation like a job, I don't feel like there's any interest in making things better, to be fair. Whatever's going on here. So whatever you want, they don't care. At least not on your terms, anyway. It's kind of rough. So the first step in this situation is realizing that, evaluating this yourself, especially this is a general read, is this really happening? Do you really feel like that's how this is going? Because admitting that that's what's happening, if this is hitting, admitting that first changes the whole situation for you. Because if you're I'm trying to make this better, but there's no support with that at all, it's kind of I want to build a house, but I can't even get a board to work with here. Nobody will even bring me a nail or a hammer. I can't get anything. to make this go my way? How much longer do I hold on to this before I realize that this is just not going to work? It's time to make different decisions. This is going to be a long-term decision. Whatever you're doing or looking at, it's kind of like stepping back and realizing, like, where am I now versus where do I need to be? And start making decisions based on where you need to be versus where you are. This is probably going to be a very difficult time for you. It's going to be very difficult to make this decision because you know once you make the decision, you'll follow through on it. And I'm going to say this, like, from what I know of Aries, one of the ways you make sure that you follow through on situations is like, and it's not every Aries, but it seems like it's more common than not. Take it with a grain of salt. But one way to make sure that you don't go backtracking is that you burn that bridge. So you're like, can't go back on that bridge. can't go back across that bridge because I burned it. And then I sunk it. And then I blew up the side. And then, and then I sunk the boats that were in there. Like, there's no way to get back. Like, I feel like that's one of the things Aries does. One way to make sure you follow through with something is you burn the bridge behind you. I could be wrong. Take it with a grain of salt. It could be wrong, but I've seen it happen a couple times. I have some Aries in my chart. Not saying I'm against it. Like, whatever. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just feel like you're going to start moving forward. Now, it's hard. Once you start moving, you're not going to go backwards. What's this? The Sun card. Ironically, once you make that change, though, I'm getting a 2. So anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks to 2 months. I'm just getting a 2. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, depends on you, depends on what you're dealing with. You're going to have this moment where you're like, I don't like where this has turned out, but I feel better. I don't know how to explain this. It's kind of like, I had a nice house. Due to the decision I made, I had to move out of that house and I live in an apartment. Do I want to live in an apartment? No. But do I feel much better and much more at peace? Yeah. I feel a lot happier. Do I want to live in this apartment? No. But I'm only here until I can find somewhere better. I already feel better. And I'm already feeling that energy going in my favor. It's a small step, but that one step, even though maybe to the outside world it's like, oh, you're in that little crappy apartment now. I'm so sorry. You're like, I'm not. I feel much better. I may have had that beautiful house with all those amenities with it and all that space, but I was so unhappy there that this little apartment, I feel so much more free. I feel so much more happy. I'd rather be in this little apartment by myself than in that house in that situation. That first step is once it starts taking hold, ironically will feel a lot better. And it's interesting because you got the star card reversed, kind of like it doesn't look good from the outside. And it's like it's not where you're going to end. It's just where you're now. That's where you first step to move forward. You're very reluctant to move forward for good reason, but they're giving you that first step. Like that first step, even though it looks bad from the outside, it feels great on the inside. There's a lot of things here that don't go your way after this. Okay. I mean, the cards come up the way they come up. I just don't feel like I don't see the point of me like trying to make things look better than they are. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. Everybody's life is different. But there's going to be things working against you, and there's going to be things that just don't go your way. But ironically, you're going to feel emotionally better. On the outside, it's going to look bad. It's going to look bad on the outside for a while. But on the inside, you're going to feel a lot better. I don't see it taking all that long, but it depends on what you're dealing with, and it depends how long you fight it. If you have the goal of getting out of it, what's acceptable to get out of it, you might want to just kind of like do that. What is your goal to get out of it? What can you acceptably let go to get out of it? There's acceptable and there's unacceptable. You have to decide for yourself what that is. When that period of time has passed, you're going to be back to your full strength and who you are. You're going to have the Ace of Cups coming in. You're going to have, what is this one? The Magician card, and you're going to have the rewards. Once you get past that period, you get back to your true strength. You get back to who you truly are, and you have control of your life the way you want to again. But you got to get back there first. You have to go through this. You got to go through this war field like I don't, whatever this is, you have to go through this first to get there. Once you're there, you'll have what you want again. Ironically, though, again, I keep getting, even though it looks horrible on the outside, whatever you're going through, and other people are like, oh, Aries, I'm so sorry. It still feels better to you than the situation you were dealing with anyway. So it's like the first step feels better, and then once you get through all this turmoil and that's all cleaned up and moved on, then you can have your life back the way you want it again. That's where things are going to clear out of your way and you're going to feel good again. Not just feel good again, but your life will be what you want it to be again. Are we good? All right, I think we're there. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.